John here again, back again, and this is my third episode in this bee trilogy. I think I've finally figured out what happened, so this is the final episode of this swarm catch and homing, and now I can tell you maybe what's happening next door. So this video is going to be called episode 3, checking on the neighbors. And as I went through the hive here, my new hive that I installed, I found out some information that kind of answers all the questions. And when it's done, it's easy to see what happened here in my bee yard. And after this is done, maybe I can continue on videoing as honey's being produced, checking on my hives again, and just kind of following through with some of the daily routines of beekeeping, feeding, taking care of the pests such as hive beetles, etc. So see what you think of this bee trilogy, and thanks again for watching, and God bless. Hey, I'm back again here. This is my new hive that I built this year. I'm going to call it the Bee Hive, and the old one an A Hive. And I put these bees in it probably about 4+ weeks ago. And I moved all the comb from the A Hive into here. And the bees transferred a lot of them, but I also had a lot of empty comb, empty bars that I put in, just to see, to give them more room. That way they might not try to swarm on me. But I did have a swarm start over here, and that landed the other day that you've seen put in the old hive. So I'm really not sure if they swarmed out of here yet or came from someplace else. I am going to move some of these things out of the way here. Hopefully the queen ain't in that. Anyway, here's going to be a piece of the old comb. Now what they like to do a little bit, if they start making honey and the comb, they feel like it gets too heavy, they'll attach it just a little bit on the sides. So when you have a top bar hive, you occasionally do have to cut the comb away just a little bit so that they will not it will not tear apart whenever you lift it out of there. So this here is a piece of original comb that I had in there, and there's still quite a few bees in here. There's a lot of drone I can see on this here piece, but they are also filling it full of nectar right now. They've not capped any of it yet, but there is a lot of nectar there. Here's a new piece of new top bar that I put in, and it does appear that that might be, I'm thinking it's drone comb, because it's bubbled out pretty good there. But there's also some new brood here. This here is the new brood. It's capped a little smaller, I believe. Well, that might be capped honey. No, it's got to be brood. And then these here are drone cells. Again, here's a drone. You can tell how big he is, a little bit bigger than the regular worker bee. He's the male. So that's a new comb that they built in the last 3 or 4 weeks. What I did was I alternated the bars, put a bar of the old comb in, and then I put an empty bar. That way the bees would maybe keep building straight comb by alternating them like that. This again was another old bar comb. Boy, there are several drones again on that. They are filling it up with honey though too. It's a lot of nectar in there anyway. They're fairly calm today. Can I tell if they've split? That I cannot really tell yet. Here's another brand new bar that I put in. In a few weeks they've drawn it out, filled her full of some drone brood. And now they're filling it full of nectar. I hope that this drone brood don't keep coming, because that might mean there's a queen missing. Another piece of old comb here. Once again, I'm very new. I consider it this. Far from knowing a lot. Once again, new bar here. I think that might be drone comb. Oops, I don't know what's happening there. I've got about 14 or 15 bars to go down to the end, and usually the brood, I put most of it at the very beginning. And towards the end, farther this away, is where I put the few combs that were drone comb. Drone. Now they don't like that smoke there. Neither do I. Oh, shoot. I've been starting to use pine needles for my smoker, and they've really worked well. Another bar here full of nectar. A lot of nectar being made already for being April the 23rd or so. Piece of old comb here again, old. You know, I'm gonna almost say they might have split, because there doesn't seem to be as many bees in here as there were. Here's a new bar too they filled up. I don't know, I think got honey, we've got pollen in there. Here's where I'd really love to see a queen right now. See a few drone. Little workers. Now here's an old piece of comb that's got a lot of brood in it. So they are making brood, which is a good thing. Got some brood on this side too. So I'm getting down into the brood comb. Again, I'd love to see the queen here. I think it's very possible that this hive split, and I was fortunate enough that they landed close to home and put them in to my other hive. Here we go again, got some more brood, I believe. Wish that queen would just pop out so I could see her. Got few drones there. And again, this is regular brood, I believe. I hope. Another new piece of comb. New bar that I put in. The other day I was talking to my wife and I showed her these videos that I'm trying to make. She mentioned it kind of sounded like I was a few bricks shy, I'm trying to say, of a load. But actually I'm not, I hope. I just told her I'm a man and it's hard to do the 3 or 4 things at once. I can only do 1 or 2 things maybe. So it's amazing that I did what I did. I still give credit to those who make these films all the time. Takes a lot of work, I think, and a little bit of skill too. Here we have some more brood comb. Should be some new bees coming out of there, hopefully pretty soon. A little more smoking. Here's something I don't like seeing, I think, because from what I've heard in the past, here again is another brand new piece of comb that they built on an empty bar. Looks like there's an awful lot of drone brood there. I'm afraid they say that if there's no queen, I think you can have the worker bees lay eggs, but it'll only make brood. I mean, it'll only make drones. A lot of new little bees, it looks like right here. You can see that. They look new. Once again, I have not seen a queen. I still got 5 bars to go to the end of the hive. On this hive here, this time I decided to build one that would have a front entrance, or in this case an end entrance. There are brood there. New little bees, it looks like, I can see. There's some tiny, look, they're very little still bees moving around. See drone, few drone. No queen, which again, I would love to see a queen. The bee's temperament's pretty good today. Pretty good. Smoke them a little bit more. I don't know how long a video will last on the phone. There's a good chance I might ought to stop here. If it's still filming, it says it is. I'll stop it just for a minute so my little phone won't overheat, and we'll see. Get back with you in just a few minutes. All right, I'm back here, and I went ahead and looked at the rest of the hive. I thought you might get tired of just watching me. And I come across something. I've not found hardly any brood. That young brood, new little eggs. I haven't seen any of it, I can tell. And as I was going through this here, I did find a queen cell. And here she is right here, if you can see that larger lump. Now that's a queen cell, and it's not been opened yet, so they're taking care of her. I don't know if they split then, and I'm not sure the correct terminology. They laid a queen maybe before she left. If this hive did swarm, it doesn't seem as though there's many bees in here, but again, it's also, I've opened it up quite a bit more. So I haven't found a queen at all. The only thing evidence I have of one maybe coming on, hopefully, is that little queen cell that I just showed you. And I didn't notice that on any of the others there. Oh, smashed a bee. I hate that. There, they're not getting happy now. I don't like hurting them at all, but I'll tell you what, sometimes it's very hard to not smash one or two. There again, I wasn't looking for queen cells, but it's possible there could be another one here even. But this, it kind of bothers me a little bit. I'm going to make a little mark here of a Q for queen, and I'll check that here in a. This hive just kind of, I don't know, I don't feel 100% about it, because it just seems like, and again, you're talking to someone who don't know much, but I just haven't been able to see any new eggs being laid here. So if this hive did split and swarm, and I caught it in my in my other hive, they've left this hive with a few less bees, and they've got a queen cell that's looks like it's being incubated, and I'm just gonna have to open it up in a little bit, in a week or so, and see if that queen hatched, and hopefully she'll be able to mate, and then come back and live here happily ever after. I'm going to put this back together and close it up. It's been a good day in the bee yard. Thanks for watching me. I hope I can show you something you might not know, and there's a lot more I need to know. So be good, God bless, and thank you kindly. Hey, I just had to get back on here and show you something. I was putting it back together, and it always helps to look a little more and pay attention. But I did find there are three queen cells here. That the queen's inside. I mean, they're making a queen there. So I really feel maybe out of these 4 queen cells, one of them will end up killing the other 3, if there is that many. And maybe then they'll start, okay, I don't know if you can see them or not, but there's 1, 2, 3 right there. So that's a good sign. At least there's some queens being made. And like I say, I'll have to study a little bit. Maybe they did swarm and half of them leave or so, and then they've made some queen cells here. So that means that I might have caught a swarm that came out of this box just a few feet away, and you know, that's not a bad thing, I don't think, for me anyway. So thanks again.